Or Aimpoint was dropped.
Yep.
And it didn't break.
Could not agree more. Hey folks, I'm Jeff Gonzalez. I'm here with Josh from AR15.com, and today we're going to be talking to you about an Aimpoint product that has kind of taken the industry by storm. So Josh, why don't we go over a little bit of the specs, and then we'll kind of get into some of the pros and cons.
So this is on their smaller footprint. This is an example of a smaller footprint of the Aimpoint line. This was designed to replace or give you a slightly more affordable version of their T2, Comp 4, all of those lines of optics. They have turrets that are flush on the side here. They have O-ring sealed. Everything in here is O-ring sealed, and I believe it goes down to like 75 meters. As far as waterproofing, is it 25 meters? 75 feet. I speak in American. So we have a scope. There's a front cap that is non-see-through, and then there's a back cap that does have like a window for it. They say that you can, what is it, occluded shooting?
Yes.
So they have that for that. It's a pretty cool little feature that they have. It does have a proprietary mount on it. It's not a perfect 1/3 co-witness, and it's not a perfect co-witness. It's somewhere there in the middle. And I do believe it has 10 brightness settings, 3 to 4 of which are night vision compatible, and the rest of them go to like super sun bright all the way down. I noticed when we were making adjustments on this, I was like the second to the top. I think it's 7 or 8 was plenty bright for full sun.
Thanks to our sponsor Spartan Armor Systems for making this video possible. Spartan Armor Systems is dedicated to providing the best American-made body armor in the industry for civilians, law enforcement, and the military. You can find out more at SpartanArmorSystems.com. Protect what's yours.
One of the things that Aimpoint started to do was they started to go more to push button versus the dials, which is kind of nice. It's taken a little bit of getting used to because you're so used to kind of like dialing up, dialing down. Now you got to feel the push. It's a tactile feel, so don't worry about it. You can feel it. But you got to make sure you know where that button is in order to intensify or lighten the emitter. The other thing is that they are also using the same 2032 battery that they have had long-term performance with. So, a couple of things that I try to get across to people is the battery life of this guy is ridiculous. We don't even have to bring it up anymore because you will shoot this barrel out.
Yeah.
You will like wear out the rifle in this barrel before you need to replace that battery. And that's just, again, that goes to, even back to some of the legacy Aimpoints that we had. Even then at the time they were putting out sometimes twice as many battery hours as their competitors, and now they're continuing with that same suit. The other nice thing about this, what you're going to find here is that this is a very kind of like user-friendly optic as far as your pocketbook is concerned. So the price point on this guy has really made a significant difference, which is one of the reasons why I think you're going to find this to be super valuable, is because now you're looking at $500 entry level for in my opinion, this is state-of-the-art material here. I mean, yes, they have an entire line that supersedes this and provides all of the different features and benefits and all this other business. But for the average user, for the person that's just trying to outfit their rifle with a really reliable, rugged, proven optic, man, this thing is the bomb. This thing is going to do a lot for people.
Well, and I think having used like duty use kind of stuff, like actually using it in the wild, like you don't start to notice all of these like quality things when they talk about it's actually IPX rated. It's actually like the dot's actually clear when you're having to crank it up to 10 because you're in full sun, or it's dark and you click on your flashlight and now you're looking at 1,000 lumens 10 feet away. You lose the dot like that in a lot of cheaper optics and stuff like that. So it's a hard thing to quantify until you get behind it. It was shocking to me the second I leveled. I was like, this is an Aimpoint. I mean, it's not like I know it's their budget line. I was really surprised that the second I got behind it, I was like, this feels exactly what the government normally pays for us to have. This was a very, very cool example of actually providing it at a much cheaper price point.
So folks, one of the things that I want people to take away from why does again, we need to kind of like put some context in why a red dot on a rifle. There's a lot of reasons, okay? First and foremost is that what you get from this, you get anytime viewability. So that red dot is always gonna be on. You know, I don't turn mine off. Pretty much any of the guns that I have, they stay on all the time. So you have anytime viewability, that's great. The other thing that you have here is that you've got the ability to be target focused versus sight focused. I mean, yes, you can still use this as an iron sight. You can look at the dot, of course, and a lot of people in the early stages of their development with a red dot sight will probably do that, so that's totally fine. Yeah. But the nice thing about this is that when you add the anytime viewability with target focus, and then the last big bucket item is it's designed for binocular use. So your both eyes should be open as you're doing this. It just makes for a very user-friendly entry model into coming up and keeping pace with the big boys out there and being able to find, again, a very consumer-friendly model that is going to be everything that you would expect with an Aimpoint product. There is, just because this is priced at a lower price point than some of their other, flagship models, does not mean that this thing does not have the bang for the buck. You will be very happy with this thing. So I feel like that's another huge feather in the cap for Aimpoint, bringing to the consumer market something that is every bit as field use as all their other stuff.
And really, and when I was chewing on kind of where does this optic make sense, it's for people on a budget. You have organizations that have got to go buy, like they can't buy, one of these things, they're gonna have to buy 15 of them. Sure. The amount of money that you save budget-wise on something like this, and you can trust it. It's just as bomb-proof as it is. And they took out, there's no shake-awake feature, there's no solar panels on this, there is a red dot that turns on, stays on until the battery dies a million years later on whatever it is. And so I really like that they kind of did that. They do have the proprietary tool for zeroing. It does zero incredibly easily. I mean, it's like zeroing anything else. Yeah, so as long as you keep that tool handy, I think you're fine. But outside of that, I don't really, it's designed to do what it does, and it does that incredibly well.
Couldn't agree more. All right, folks, we'd love to hear what's your experience with the Aimpoint line, first of all, and if you have invested in this RDS, has it met all the expectations that you were hoping for or that we explained in this video? Because that would be hugely valuable for us. We'd love to hear that. And then, of course, if you have other suggestions about other optics that you'd like us to take a look at, hey, feel free to put them down below, because we're always interested in what should we do next, right? We get a little bored here sometimes, so fun times to hear what the viewers want to hear. Until then, I'm Jeff. This is Josh. Take care and stay safe.